Hello, Sagittarius. Thank you for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I am using Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn. There's the information in case you want to look up that artist. Supportive oracle cards are Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards by Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen, and there's Gretchen's last name right there. So if you want to find either of those artists, that's what you need for that. I'm going to do the oracle card second. Sagittarius. Okay. Okay. Sagittarius coming into this whole thing, the card on top really says a lot here. Workaholic. You're coming into it with a lot on your plate, a lot going on, trying to fix things, trying to make things survive, putting a lot of effort in. There's a lot of stress, but there's also kind of like, it's almost like, well, I got to keep going. It's almost like when I feel workaholic, it's like you're constantly tired because you just don't stop. It's kind of like wherever you are, you have this drive to keep moving and you have the drive to get things done. You just keep moving and keep going and keep moving and keep going. Going into this situation, that was the energy you had at the time. Like, it was no break. Like, just kept going, kept going. It's like if you're at work, you look here, you just, well, it has to be done. Okay, let me do this. Okay, let me do. Okay, it's like even like when you went to the bathroom, it's like, well, this could be straightened up. Let me straighten up that. Like, things that weren't even your job. I feel like you kept moving. Like, this is the energy. Like, I just can't stop. Even if it's not your responsibility, you seem to be like, well, I can pitch in and I'll help with this. Just keeps going, which is ironic because you've got so much going on that it's like, I literally feel like you're helping out everybody, and it's like you don't really have time for anything. You just keep going, and you keep helping people, even though it's like it's running you ragged. I'm also getting somebody's kind of like egging you on. When I'm getting the King of Swords in the environment, it's like somebody is saying, yeah, keep going. They're either giving you accolades or they're pushing you. It could be positive or negative. This is a general read, so this could go left or right. But someone is definitely pushing you forward. And it's like you need a break, but like instead of getting the break, somebody's saying, no, we need to keep going. And they're either like giving you accolades and positive reinforcement, or they're trying to make you feel like, well, come on. It's one of the two. I know it's left or right. It doesn't really seem like there's much of a mix on that one. I'm just getting like this just keeps going. And I feel like there's so much going on and then new possibilities come in front of you. But it's one of those things where you don't have any more time for anything extra, but this is something you got to be a part of all the same. It's kind of like you got all this going on, and it's kind of like, well, and now my family needs me to help out with this situation, and I need to do it. I have to do it. So it's kind of like, all right, and you just add that in. You just add it in, and you don't have any room. It's like, I don't know how to explain this. It's like the box is full and you're cramming something else in there and it's not going to fit. It's going to bust out the sides, and it literally, I think it does. You don't have any space left. And it's like nothing is bending, nothing is giving you any leeway. Anywhere you try to make room, people are complaining. Anywhere you try to make some more room, anywhere, somebody's going to give you a hard time or is giving you a hard time. And you got the Ten of Swords here. This is like all the beginning stuff here. You finally just can't. There's nothing else you can do. It's like for some of you, I feel like you're just dropping the ball here and there. Maybe some days are worse than others, but you can't keep up with everything. You just can't, but you're trying to. And the Ten of Swords is telling me people are getting upset because you're falling behind on this, or things are falling through the cracks. It's kind of like they didn't let you tell them no, but by trying to keep up with everything, you're still like, there's too much on your plate. There's way too much is what I'm getting for those of you this is hitting for. And it's coming to the spot where people are so expectant of you. They don't seem to be having very much compassion. Like, if you explain to them what's going on, they're like blaming you for being involved in so much. Or they're not really. I don't see a lot of compassion with this one. It's just odd because this can be a very compassionate card. I'm just literally not feeling it. I'm getting like people want what they want and they're just not. I just feel like they're more feeling like, oh, look what you're doing. You're making this harder for me. I feel like that energy is over here with this Queen of Pentacles energy, which I find it very interesting because this can be a very compassionate, loving card. It's just not feeling that way right now to me. It feels like there's just kind of like that drive. Like, look, you're making this worse. Like, why can't you help? Why can't you do more? And it's kind of like you're looking at this person like, do more. Like, do more. Like, I don't even have time to have this conversation. Do more. You're not getting, I don't feel like you're getting compassion. And I feel like, again, that's why you have the Ten of Swords. That's kind of balancing it out. That's where I'm also kind of connecting that with. You don't feel like you're getting any compassion. So it only goes so far. And I feel like it's going to fall. Either you're going to get sick. Some of you are literally going to get like the flu or some type of, like, I don't know what's going on, but like I know 3 different people that got pneumonia this summer. And I'm like, how did that happen? And they're active people, so it's really weird. Or like something's going to bring you down. Like bronchitis, something. You might even like do what I did and you just your leg goes wonky and then your back goes wonky and you're like, this has never happened before. Your body's going to force you to slow down. I literally feel like for all of you that this is hitting for, your body, it's going to be your body. I feel like it's going to be literally your body. I could be wrong. Obviously, it's a general read, so I don't like to say everybody, but I'm feeling like physically something's going to implode if you don't stop. If you don't stop, because it's going to come to this moment where you just physically can't do it anymore. You're running on so low, like fumes, whatever. You can't do it anymore. I'm hoping there's a lot of you that are already in this moment, and it's like the universe is kind of giving you this heads up, like, here's a chance for you to stop it on your own, or, something rough is coming your way. Because it's going to have to be rebalanced. I feel like you literally have to back off from everything. Like, this may sound, I don't know how this sounds. I'm just going to say what I'm getting. If it's that overwhelming, and nobody's giving you a break, maybe you have to call in and just play sick for a couple days. You know what I mean? I don't know if that sounds like, not for nothing, probably a couple days of extra rest. Although the energy I'm feeling, like, I don't even know if you'd allow yourself to do that. But for those of you who like suffer migraines, I'm like thinking, just be careful, because I'm one of those too. Like, you push it, and your body's like, well, how about this? There, how are you going to work with that? You can't. So, it's going to slow down. It's going to have to be rebalanced. I'm getting you're going to have to pull back from like at least half of what you're doing. It's so overwhelming. People are going to get upset, but there's going to be some people you're going to have to just leave, like, you're just going to have to flat out leave them in the lurch. I don't know what to say about it. Like, you might tell them I'm not going to be able to show up, and they'll be like, well, you have to, and you just won't respond. Like, you're going to text them, I'm sorry, tomorrow I'm not going to be able to pick you up, and they'll send you back, well, you have to, and you're just not going to be able to respond to it because there's nothing to respond. And you're just going to be like, well, I just won't respond, and they'll figure it out. It might be rough for some of them, but it's like, you got to take care of yourself. I'm getting, once this, it's gonna implode to some respect, to some effect. It's going to implode a bit. Which, I mean, it's like, I feel like you're trying to let people know, like, I'm not going to be doing this from now on. And they're going to be pushing back, and you're just going to, like, walk away from it. Like, I told you I'm not, so I'm not responding anymore. Message has been sent, moving on. Because it's too much, you can't. You're going to have to reevaluate, make new decisions. I feel like you're going to have to reevaluate and just keep what's most important. For example, I feel like a lot of you are like, well, when it comes to my work, there's certain things I have to do so that it doesn't end up coming back on me in certain ways, but there's certain things I can push off to other people, and I'm going to have to do that. Family and friends, Like if there's like, for example, if you have like some type of social aspiration you like to do, I feel like you might actually just kind of like put that on pause for a few months, not because you want to, just because you have to. Family and friends, I feel like you're going to have to back off considerably with all that. If you were going to host things or help get things done, you're going to have to give them like some notice and say, I'm sorry, I'm just feeling under the weather lately. I can't keep going like this. I'm not going to be able to help you like I thought I was going to be able to. You have to make these decisions. There's a moment here where I feel like you have to stop, and you're going to have this moment where you're just kind of pushing away from people. Justice comes in. If you don't do it on your own, I'm just saying, your body's going to shut you down, and then these people are going to realize you just can't help them. And when it happens, you have to keep that going. Like when you shut down and you physically can't, because if you don't do it on your own, your body's going to make you. I'm getting that over and over again. When that happens and a lot of these things push to the side, at least half, your job is to not pick them back up. Don't pick it up. I'm just kidding. Don't pick these things back up, because when you drop them and these people have to do it on their own, they're going to find ways to make it happen. They've got the emperor. Whoever these people are, they've got the emperor. They will pick up their own pieces. They will find ways to make things work out. Let them do that. Let them keep their stuff. You don't have to run yourself ragged. This is I feel like for a lot of you, this is probably a bad pattern. I can think of one Sagittarius at least that I know that they try to pull back, and then before you know it, they're involved in everything again, and then they're getting sick again, and they're having this problem and that problem. Their partner tries to help them pull back. It only works so much. They're a strong person, so... But it kind of ebbs and flows. You see where they get sick, and then they pull back for a while, and then they feel really good, and then they get back involved in everything, and then they start getting sick again, and they pull away, and it's like a cyclical thing. Hopefully a lot of you are noticing this, and you're like, I need to break this cycle, and you're working on that. I would also say forgiveness is here, in the sense of like if you're feeling bad or people are giving you a hard time about things you can't do any longer, you will be forgiven for that. You will forgive yourself, or they'll forgive you, whatever it costs. But I'm getting like the energy does move on. But the Four of Pentacles is warning, don't get stuck back in the same old rut. For you, the Four of Pentacles is saying you could end up back right where you started and end up going right into another round of this. You might start off with a lot less, like you cut this down to less than half, and then you just start inching it back up and inching it back up and inching it back up, and they're saying don't get caught back up in that situation, because you're going to have the drive to do that. You got perfection here, which this is like a double-ended situation. They're saying perfection is the fact that you pulled back and things are going a lot better. You have more time for yourself. That's the literal perfection you should hold on to. The perfection is having enough time for yourself and things that need to get done, but being able to enjoy life and not doing everything for everybody. The other thing is, the other side of this perfection is like being a perfectionist, and like people need your help, and you're feeling like you have to help, and you're feeling like people need you, and you're like, well, it's better if I do help them, and like I can help them, so why don't I help them? Before you know it, you got so much on your plate again, and here we are back stuck in the beginning, where we're back. It's stuck at that point where you're like, your body's starting to give in, and you're starting to feel sick again. Don't get caught in this again. Don't let it happen to you again. Maybe I'm a weirdo, but sometimes I put reminders on my phone for like every 2 weeks or maybe every month to like say, have you stopped doing this? Are you letting people walk all over you again? Are you putting up with some things that you should not be putting up with? Like I have little reminders in my phone, just like a mental like, am I like just giving me that mental reminder, like maybe it's time to do a self audit just every other week or maybe once a month, just like, am I falling back into these bad patterns and I'm letting people do these things to me? Or have I moved more towards healthier relationships? Am I holding those boundaries together? It may seem a little weird, but works for me. Because, you get caught up in life and you forget, and you're just like, well, you just think you'll come around when you come around and just be like, oh, I need to think about that. Am I doing the right thing? If you have that reminder on your phone just to pop up like once a month or every other week, it might be that jarring. And try to like schedule it at a time that you think will be good. Like maybe it's like Saturday night. Like Saturday night is usually a quiet night for me when I get home, or maybe Friday night's better, I guess. It's usually I'm feeling good and like, oh, I'll see that and I'll be like, oh, that's a good thing. I should think about that, All right. that's what we got for this week. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.